Do you have a fear of emotional closeness in relationships? Is it hard for you to trust even though you know that you're with a safe person, either a friend or a romantic partner? Well, today we're going to talk about why that happens and what we're going to do about it. After growing up in an alcoholic home, very chaotic, turbulent, and being 70 years in, I can tell you there is healing and there is hope. And that's what we're going to talk about today. First, we're going to say, why is this happening to you? Why is this happening? Well, chances are you may not have been raised in an alcoholic home. You could have been raised in a home where, for any reason, your parents might have been emotionally unavailable, more or less. They could have been on the narcissistic side. Perhaps they were workaholics. Perhaps they were very ill physically or maybe even mentally. There's any number of reasons that children grow up feeling uncertain about their environment. But that develops a pattern early on of being very nervous about trust. Because as soon as you trust, you find out the person you're trusting isn't there for you. In my case, there was a lot of chaos, a lot of turbulence and arguing and yelling and drinking. And then it would calm down for a little while. And I would think, you know what? It's okay. I think it's okay now. I think it's okay. And just about the time I'd lift my head out of that foxhole, boom, here comes some more shrapnel, and I'd have to go back inside. So you do learn to be distrustful in those situations. Now, the first thing to do is what we're always going to do when we start something, and that is we're going to start with our relationship with God, because God has a perfect plan for our lives. And if we've been wounded as children, that plan involves our healing for those memories. He will walk back with you through those memories. Hebrews 13:8 says that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And I think that's just a wonderful promise to know that He can heal our past, He can heal our present, and He can be at work right now healing our future. We can't understand that because we don't relate to time like that. But that's what the Word of God says. So we know that it can happen. And I know for sure that Jesus went back with me and walked through many of my very painful, traumatic childhood memories and healed me and gave me a beautiful life. And you can have it too. So, starting with our relationship with God, we're going to do exactly that. We're going to ask Him, Lord, walk with me on this healing journey. Psalm 55:22 says that the Lord daily sustains us. And there is a translation that says, blessed be the Lord who daily bears our burdens. And I think that's just such a beautiful translation. We also hear in 1 Peter 5:7 to cast all of our anxiety on Him, for He cares for us. What a beautiful thought. Now, that doesn't mean that this just all goes away right away. It's a process. It's the beginning. It's learning to trust those scriptures. It's learning to find those scriptures that talk about God being trustworthy and digging into the Word ourselves and really developing that one-on-one time with Him when we can hear Him speaking to us about how He wants to heal us and what the next step is. So step number 2 is kind of like the next step. We are going to trust the healing process, because healing is a process. I wish it was easy. I wish it was over in a heartbeat, but it's usually not. Sometimes it is. God can do that. And in my case, I had memories repressed so deep because I couldn't bear to think about them. They did not surface until I was in my mid-30s. And it was almost like a new revelation of something that had happened to me that I had completely forgotten about. But the good news is I had a good spiritual director. She walked me through that, and I did a lot of work forgiving and praying and just a lot of work. And today I am completely healed. There's not a childhood memory that I have that bothers me. And there was a lot of them. They're just like a black and white television screen going by, showing me what happened, but I have no emotion tied to that. And that can happen for you as well. So you need to trust the healing process. Invite Jesus into your memories and ask him, what does he want to heal first? Which is most important? In Deuteronomy 7:22 is one of my favorite verses, where the Lord tells the children of Israel as they're preparing to enter the land that he will remove the enemies one at a time. He won't just sweep the land clean, because the wild beasts would grow too numerous for the children of Israel. And I look at the healing journey much the same. God heals us a little bit at a time, because if he healed us all at once, we would not be able to tolerate it. It would be too much. So he's very, very gentle about that. And when he heals, it's done. He heals completely. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about, step number 3, is for you to trust yourself. Trust yourself. If you are in a relationship that for some reason doesn't last, you know what? You're going to survive. You're going to survive because you're a daughter of God, because he loves you, because he has a beautiful plan for your life. And you will know that if that relationship doesn't work out, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, it's okay. God has something better for you, and you can trust in that. You also need to spend some time getting to know yourself. What do you like to do? Sometimes we just get so caught up in life and in our role as mother or wife or sister, whatever it is, maybe even taking care of parents. We just lose touch with what we like to do. And what is it that you like to do? Do you like to sew? Do you like to cook? Do you like to garden? Do you like to hike? Do you like to exercise and work out? And these sports that you like, I love snow skiing. Horseback riding was always my favorite one. I love being at the beach in California. Those are some of the things I like. I like to shop. Try not to do too much of that. But think about the things that you like to do and spend time doing them. Even if it's just something really small. Start small. If you need to exercise and you haven't for a while, just start light. Go up and down the stairs 2 or 3 times, or take a 10-minute walk, or do 5 minutes of stretching. Anything that just makes time for you, because you deserve it and you need it. Spend time journaling. Journaling is wonderful because when we journal, we find out how we really feel. Sometimes we don't know how we feel until we start to write it down. I used to have a friend in Al-Anon who would talk about writing hate mail, and then he would burn it. So I thought that was pretty funny. But we don't have to do that. But we can be very sincere with our feelings, because it's just going on a piece of paper and we can tear it up, throw it away, or we can burn it if we want to. But it tells us how we really feel. Knowing how we really feel about something is part of the healing process as well. So I hope that helped you today and will give you maybe a little boost on your healing journey. I would love it if you would reach out to me in the comments. Leave me your prayer intentions. At Faith Forward Coaching, we work with women who have been abandoned or abused as children. I don't mean abandoned necessarily physically, but very often emotionally, mentally, spiritually, just kind of left to fend for themselves. And that can happen to men as well. It doesn't have to be a woman. And we just lead those people through the healing process and kind of walk with you, brainstorm with you, help you figure out what's going on and what the next step is, and just provide a framework for your journey. So we would love it if you would reach out to us. There's a free document you can download, and it'll walk you through a 3-step process that'll just help you to surrender anything that's bothering you. And be sure you reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you, and I will be back in the next video. So I'll see you then, guys. Bye.